everyone. It's Giulia from the Washington Kurdish Institute, and I'm here for another one of our episodes with Dr. Saman Shali. Dr. Shali is a fellow Kurdish activist, expert on Kurdish affairs, and former leader of the Kurdish National Congress. On this episode, we will be talking about the Kurdish issue in Iraq, given that's his main expertise, the government in Iraq, the recent elections, and a lot of other interesting facts on Kurds and Iraq. To begin with, I would like to thank Dr. Shali for being here today and for giving us this opportunity for this brief little chat for our podcast. So thank you again.
First, I thank Washington Kurdish Institute for having me. I'm glad to be with you. Hopefully we could answer all your questions regarding the situation in Iraq.
Thank you. So to begin with, just a general question, how do you evaluate the current formation of the Iraqi government? Because it seems like it's very intensively divided. I mean, you have the Shia blocs divided into the Sadr coalition, and then you have the Iranian black blocs, and also the Kurds. I mean, they've been split and divided into two factions since the very beginning. And it seems like they're not really searching for inclusion, or maybe they are. What's your perspective on this?
Well, it is unfortunate. Since the election of 2018, many government can being especially after 2019 and the young people of Iraq being on the street to protest the living and the situation all Iraqi being in, and they expressed that in the peaceful demonstration, but unfortunately that turned sour and they lost about over 700 people being killed in that demonstration in many other cities in the south of Iraq, which being governed by Shia themselves. But since then, the government changed and the new government led by Kadhimi. Kadhimi is very weak prime minister. They bullying him a lot and he is not decisive. Maybe he's successful in international relationship, but internally he failed on all aspects. Unfortunately, Iraq went from worse to be a disaster. The currency went down, the health went down, the education went down, the industry almost nil, the agriculture is bad. Now, after the election of 2021, last October, things is hope of Iraqi become alive again. Even less than 70 people of Iraqi voted, about 30% or less voted in this election. Still the dismay about the election and the changes they hope for is unbelievable. Like 70% of people, they did not believe in this election. However, we have a new parliament. It's been elected by the coalition between the Sunni and Shia and Muqtada Sadr. All this becoming coalition and become hope because they want a new government. Not everybody being taking part of it, but the majority of the winner, not to be inclusive, because we see in the government inclusive in the last 19 years has been, as I said, it devastated the economy of Iraq and the living standard of the Iraqi. So the new government, the hope for the new government is becoming very high, and the government of to come government to have a new vision for Iraqi people. Unfortunately, there is a division between the house of Shia and the Kurds now, especially now the election of the president of Iraq. The two main political party, KDP and PUK, they stick to their candidate, and there is unfortunately no compromise between them. KDP has its own understanding. Actually, KDP is, Kurdistan Democratic Party, and PUK, Patriotic Union of Kurdistan. So the KDP is saying that it is a principle that this presidency is for all the Kurd, not only for the Kurd and PUK. So on that, they say we have to change that norm.
Okay.
PUK is saying, no, this is for us because we have an old agreement that the head of KRG for KDP and the PUK for the head of Iraq for PUK. I mean, between these two, we lost the agreement, let's we say, between both parties, which we hope that they went to Baghdad with one delegation, then they split in Baghdad, unfortunately, to become this norm. And we seen in the last day, well, actually it was the 7th, yesterday, supposed to elect the president of Iraq. Everybody did not go to that in the parliament. Only 58 MP went there, but you need at least 220 members to be there to elect the new president. So, and today the parliament is open the door for a new candidate to be nominated. This window is give the two political parties to reevaluate their candidate and reevaluate their situation. So far, we do not hear who is going to be nominated other than the main two candidates from KDP, Mr. Hushar Zebari, and from PUK, Dr. Barham Saleh. Let's we say we hope that before that, the two political parties, they can together to have one candidate. The candidate, which is to us is not important who is going to be, what's important, the candidate who come to protect the constitution, and within the constitution protect the right of Kurdistan people in it. That is what's important to the people of Kurdistan, and important to Iraqi to look at everybody, the people of Iraq, the same under the law and in the constitution.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's, I'd say from an external point of view, it seems like you had to arrive to a point where, I mean, only, how many did you say, 58 people go to Congress to actually vote on the president. So you have to arrive to something so extreme to a certain extent to have the two, I mean, KDP and PUK parties of Kurdistan actually like talk and find a mutual candidate. I mean, does this have to anything, I mean, does this have anything to do with the political conflict between them? Or, I mean, maybe and probably finally, this is going to be something that will benefit the union of the Kurdistan region, or, I mean, or it's just going to make it, on your opinion, harder to reach, I mean, something that benefits all Kurds?
Of course, both PUK and KDP, they have their ambition. They have their people in the political party to reach to their vote and to say we did our best. Remember in 2018, the same scenario came up, and both parties, they have two different candidates, and PUK won, Dr. Barham became president of Iraq. That did not reflect on what is going in Kurdistan. After that, for a while, everything's come back. Mr. Barham come to Erbil, and the red carpet's there, and they welcome him, and life is going on. And the people of Kurdistan, the KRG, is being the same, nothing changed. But unfortunately, this time, people fear that what is going to happen in Baghdad, if both candidate and one of the side will reflect badly on the KRG. And that is what people of Kurdistan worry about that. Absolutely. Everybody hope that will not happen, and they believe in democracy. They preach it, they have to show it. If they believe in democracy, whoever won, the other candidate go to the other and shake hand and congratulate him, and let's move on. There is many other posts in Iraq they can share, and they are sharing everything, since 1991, they are ruling Kurdistan. They are sharing all the posts and wealth and everything in Kurdistan region. So I hope that will continue, so there will be no conflict on the daily life of people of Kurdistan. And if something happened, that's not only affect the Kurdistan region, it will affect all the Iraq as well. And also it's increased the interference of regional countries in this conflict. So it is going to be lost for everybody. There is no win-win situation there, that everybody lost. So we are calling on the wisdom of the Kurdish leader, and they unite this time behind one candidate, compromise candidate, which both sides agree on it, and they go for once again united to the parliament and give their vote to one candidate, and also the Iraqi will definitely support that candidate if both political party agree on it.
Absolutely.
If not, hopefully they go there in democratic way, they shake hand, whoever winning it, but let's that conflict not come to KRG, not bring that problem
Back
to
home.
home.
Exactly. Well, this seems more like the political solution to everything that is happening. So, or like maybe a first step towards a possible union between the two Kurdish factions. What other steps do you think, I mean, the Kurds, two Kurdish parties should do? Because I mean, there have been a lot of conflicts during the years. We've seen issues like Article 140, budget issues, the entire situation of Iranian militias trying to infiltrate Turkey. And how should the Kurdish parties act to become also on these types of topics unified? Because political situation, as you said, could be, of course, finding a common leader, but there is a lot more to do, or not.
Of course, as I said at the beginning, what's important to this leadership who is becoming a president, to protect the right of all Iraqi, and among them the right of Kurdistan people in the constitution. Among them, Article 140, the Peshmerga, the budget, and the oil and gas law. All this has to be protected. And that is the duty of the Iraqi president to be protection of that rights and work hard for him to fulfill this. You cannot sit in Baghdad and you think the Iraqi give you all the right to be there. No, it's the people of Kurdistan. Doesn't matter which party, but you are representing all the people of Kurdistan. So you have to work hard for all Iraq, and specifically for the right of the Kurd within the constitution. The KRG and the people of Kurdistan, they do not ask the Iraqi government more than to their right in the constitution. That's from one side. The other side, these two political sides have the Peshmerga together to unify them. They are working hard to that, to protect the people of Kurdistan. You need to unify that. You need to unify the budget. You need to work harder within Kurdistan. We have a lot of problem here to solve. From unemployment, you have how to be more transparent. This is all what is needed to work hard within Iraq, and transparency is lacking here, from the oil, from the incoming from the border. All that is mounting, and there is many questions this government has to work.
Absolutely.
So that is very important, especially the young people. We need to improve our industry, the agriculture. We need to protect our water, because the situation is very. Iran closed all the waterway to coming to Iraq, and in Iraqi Kurdistan, one of them, we are suffering from the other side in the east of KRG. So we need to work a lot. We need the road, to improve the road. We need, I don't know, you tackle it, you name it. We need to strengthen the infrastructure of Kurdistan. That is what people of Iraq needed and to work. Not everybody worried about if the money coming from Iraq or not coming. This month there is no money, there is money. Their salary is in jeopardy, and it's being, instead of one day giving salary to everybody, now taking about 20-25 days to give everybody salary. This has to stop, and to have, they think about how to work harder to serve the people, and how to eliminate all the corruption, which is in every other area. The corruption is killing this government, and there is a law and they are working hard, but people want to see the fruit of that law of corruption. So we have to wait and see.
Absolutely. Well, they have a question that comes in natural. I mean, did you ever think about turning for president? I'm just kidding, of course, giving your speech. But no, I mean, going back to say a little bit of a hunch, you are, I mean, an expert and a lifelong activist. So going back to what you said about the election, so they failed because nobody actually attended, because you needed to stabilize the quorum and all that. So what do you think would be will probably be the outcome? And another question that comes natural as the first one, how far do you think democratic values have gone in Iraq? Do you think they're in a worse shape, or maybe this same thing, in a sort of sense, boycotting the elections are a demonstration of how, I mean, democracy is working or not?
Actually, the democracy in Iraq just worked. It's not by deed. It's not working as in the West, in America, Australia, Canada, or other. That's far from that values of democracy. People, they are using it without knowing what's exactly the meaning of the word of democracy. However, they do not know that everybody has to be equal under the law. They have the right to express themselves. They have the right to live. They have the right to be a human. This right is being taken away because there is a lot of guns there. There is a lot of militia. Is not to belong to the government. They are taking the middle and the south and Iraq left and right. They do what they want to wish, and the government is very weak. And also they have the Popular Army, which fought the Daesh also there, and they have militia. Every political party in this, they have their militia. So you have the only two region. You have the KRG, they have the Peshmerga, which is very well cooked, very well controlled, and they are in their border. And you have on the other side the Iraqi army. This prime minister make the Iraqi army very weak, because they attack him, they bring him down, and he do nothing. So he is the let's just say he is the leader of this army, and he do not move them. Fear of confrontation, fear of this, fear of that, and people being taken away. So that is why the Iraqi people, most of them, they don't believe in that democracy. Now they are coming. Unfortunately, those people make Saddam Hussein ascend. They want a strong leader come in power again and put their hand and control everything, which we don't hope that happen. We hope that the new government, become to bring hope, to rebuild Iraq, to bring the right of the people and create more job, and also restructure the health system, the education system, and the tourism system, and also the industry. The industry is all being killed. And look at the electricity. Billions of dollars spent in electricity. Still the Iraqi, they don't have electricity as supposed to be. They have 6-8 hours. We have a lot of gas. They do not invest. They buy it from Iran, the electricity from Iran. Now, thanks God, they are opening to Saudi Arabia and to Qatar to get the gas from them, electricity from Saudi Arabia. Hopefully they and this time the new government come and look at these issues very seriously. Without electricity, you will not have industry, you will not have the schools, you have not have the many things in the sector life. You cannot move without electricity and improve the life of the people at their home. You cannot sit there without electricity, especially in Iraq. In the summer, it's very, very hot. This time around, it's okay. You need the minimum in Baghdad and south, but in a couple of months, the heat start again. Yeah. So these needed, and what we hope that the coming days that hopefully the parliament convene again, and there is many issue be solved. Hopefully they come. If they do not come with one leader, they come with two leaders. Let them, the parliament, decide who is the best for Iraq. Let them elect it, and then nominate the prime minister. Hopefully the prime minister to be not belong to any political party, let's say independent, have an economic vision, have a vision for people, have a vision for Iraq for next 4 years, to take them from where they are to where they want to be. Iraq now have a lot of debt they have to pay back. Iraq has to evaluate their currency. It's need to improve the currency. When during that Mr. Al-Kadhimi, the currency devaluated. We needed to improve it again. We pay the debit. The income from the oil increased from $60 around 90 now. So the situation improved. So that has to reflect on the right, and the living of the people has to be improved. Absolutely. What you need the money for, to spend it? I mean, in the budget, you see a lot of hole in the budget. So hopefully this new government look at this issue very clearly and solve it one step at a time, but need to have a vision and a plan for 30 days, for 100 days, 6 months, and a year, so the people can see this new government is going to be from technocrat, is going to be independent. The technocrat from all the political party come to rebuild, not to gain money for your political party, not gain position for your employee, a member of your political party, but get jobs for the people of Iraq.
Well, I hope they'll work on the tourism part as well, so that I can come visit your beautiful country once. Well, you talked about fear, so I want to ask you one last question, and then if you have anything else to add, you can go ahead. As a Kurd living in Erbil, what's your biggest fear for the future of the Kurdistan region?
Well, Kurdistan region is being surrounded by enemies. Surrounded all the way. What my fear is that the Kurd among themselves be their own enemy. That's my fear, because in the through our history, nobody can get to us unless through using one side against the other side, unfortunately, and we fell in that trap. So my fear is that if they succeeded to tear up Kurdistan region, then we lost. The Kurdistan region today is an umbrella for all the Kurd in Kurdistan, from the north of Kurdistan, south of Kurdistan, east of Kurdistan, west of Kurdistan. They are all living here. They are all, this region become their sanctuary. They work, the refugees here. So we need all the Kurd from all the part to protect this, this government, this region. So everybody to strengthen, not to weakening. So we have to be united and help each other to make this government to be fruitful, and everybody in Kurdistan, in the larger Kurdistan, and Kurds outside the Kurdistan to benefit from it. Hopefully that will come through our unity, which we are lacking right now, to be honest. And it's need the wisdom of the political party to come together once for all, to unite, to work harder, to rebuild our Kurdistan, to have a lot of opportunity within Kurdistan and for investors to come in and Kurdistan region to be flourished, and from Kurdistan region and this experiment can we export it to the middle and the south of Iraq too.
That's really insightful. Before we conclude, thank you for all of your great answers, and you gave us a completely new vision on everything that's happening in Iraq and in Kurdistan. I'm going to repeat that I really would like to visit one day, so hopefully that will be possible.
You're welcome. You're welcome any day.
Thank you. Would you like to add anything before we close up?
Well, I want to ask my friends in America and Europe, the Kurd in diaspora, to work for Kurdistan, to work harder, to unite it, to get away from the political parties, as you say, competition, to work for the Kurdistan. That's what's important. You are belong to any political party, that's fine, that's your right. But when it's come to the right of the Kurds, fight for it, because we are here. We need any help we can get from the Kurdish diaspora and their friends, because we have to lobby among our friends, because they are our strength. We have a lot of Kurdish friends everywhere. Today, the Kurds, knowing after fighting Daesh, they improve themselves. They have everybody knows them. It's not like before when we used to in America, they ask us, where you come from? They say Kurdistan, they say Pakistan. Now, when you say I'm a Kurd, everybody knows who you are. So be proud of who you are and work harder for Kurdistan, because we need everybody. We need your professionalism, because to me, you are the wealth of the Kurd living abroad. I thank you. I thank you all for this opportunity. Maybe next time we have a better look and happier time ahead of us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm also really proud to be part of this. Everything that regards Kurdish awareness. As living in Italy, I try to push for the Kurdish reality everywhere I can. Well, thank you again, and hopefully, as you said, to see you soon.